Hello everybody, it's me, Tonic2ZW, and we're here with the Tier 5 Premium Warspite with RNG Nopes On Me. Now, I am out on my own in this one. I do have a few games of the Warspite where I'm out with some friends, but I don't play a lot of battleships. I'm very much a destroyer man, and I'd say that I'm probably confident up to around tier 5, tier 6 at the moment. I know that tier 8 has just dropped and there's some big ships in there which I'm very wary of. But I try to practice as best as I can down at tier sort of 4 and 5 to improve my battleship skills. I very much play the battleships like I do the destroyers. I'm always on the lookout for not those shells coming in, but I'm always on the lookout for where ships are, how they're angled, where they're moving to, what the split of ships is across the map, so that I can try and do my best to support the team. And that includes shooting at destroyers, which we'll see a little bit later in this one, I think. There is only one destroyer in the game. There is a carrier in the game. And any carrier commander worth his salt is going to do his best to get the enemy team destroyer spotted so that the team can take it off the map. Now we do see that Ismail out there sailing pretty much flat broadside to us, and we're waiting for our guns to traverse around. But we're turning in because we don't want to be flat broadside ourselves. And by the time we get in on that, he's kind of angled away, so we decide to drop our shot on the Leander. And all the while we are looking around to see what is going on. We do land an incapacitation on the Leander, but the Gator takes it out with a Dev Strike for first blood. But sadly, at the same time, we lose the Gator. So that wasn't a very good trade. But the good news is that the red team destroyer is a Vasteras, which means he hasn't got smoke screens. What he has got is low yield torpedoes, but he's got a very fast reload. So we're going to try and plonk a shot on him. And battleship captains, this is for you. If you see those destroyers, doesn't matter if there's a big ship out there, try and do as much damage as you can, because you can really change the game. Just doing enough damage to that destroyer to make him rethink how he's going to play his game. Because if I'm unspotted and sailing around the map in my DD and I'm full health, that gives me all the flexibility in the world to do what I want to do. But if I'm getting chunked for health, like this guy is at the moment, I have no idea why he's firing his guns, because he could have just probably dropped detection. If I get chunked for health, that's seriously going to change the way that I play the game. I'm going to be more standoff and less likely to come in close and engage you. So take a lesson from that, if you will. Now we see the Gneis now pushing through, as I like to call it, the Eisen Sow, the Iron Pig. And there's torpedoes running on that, but he's coming out quite fast, and I'm going to throw some shells in his direction and see what we can do there. But boom, we get a decent hit on him, and we're going to turn back, I think, shortly here to try and defend the cab, because I do believe that red team just want to go for a strong push through the centre and try and kill as much as they can. We lose the Queen Elizabeth. The focus is on the Gneis now at the moment. I don't know what he was thinking, but we're trying to lead that turn that he's on with those shells, and they come down plonk, 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 and we leave just enough health on them for somebody else to pick up the kill on that one momentarily. I said we'd leave someone to pick up the kill on that one. There we go. The Scharnhorst, who's going to have quite a nice game of it. The Ismail is now pretty much out on his own, although the destroyer is still out there. We get some shots just across the top of the island. He's also taken fire from elsewhere. We could potentially have led those a little bit better, but I'll take a citadel and a kill any day of the week. So quite happy with that one. I do see that red team are still strong on the centre, and I know there's a destroyer out here. There's another battleship out there who well, he's kind of going to stick out there on his own, I think. Excuse me while I get comfortable, because I've got sore legs today. But we're going to spin back around and we're going to head back towards the centre. And this is a bit of an old game because I've been quite busy and not had a lot of chance to do the voiceovers and edit the placeholder cards and things. You know, work got busy for me. Real life got in the way of my fun time. But we're turned round. We've got 2 turrets ready going towards that California. We see the Hugo pushing in. It's pretty much big ships apart from that little destroyer that's running round. Now the question is, has he rethought his strategy given that he's taken a number of hits already? I don't know, but he's very well out of the game because the majority of blue team are back here playing a hard defense on the cap. The Hugo is now next in line for the push. I'm also keeping an eye out there to my left because there is the Florida, although he disappears now. We're keeping the guns across to the left as we push back towards the cap because we've got ships in the centre, we've got somebody back at the rear, and that gives us the opportunity for a good crossfire. Cali is pushing in quite strongly. There's the destroyer who's coming in full chat. And I think he's after that BB in the middle. We see some torpedoes go zipping out there. But we get some more shots onto him, ignoring the California for now, because we want to try and get rid of that destroyer. And we chip him for another bit of his health. But the Scharnhorst picks him up with a torpedo. And if you're getting torpedoed off a battleship and you're in a destroyer, that's an embarrassment, and you should potentially reconsider which class of ship you prefer to play. Getting torped off another destroyer up at close range, yes, that happens. It happens to all of us, even me. But getting torped off a destroyer, that's a little bit, as I said, an embarrassment. We drop a citadel off the California, but again, we leave him with about 1 bar of health. It was a blind shot because he had disappeared when we pulled the trigger. But the enemy carrier is now more than aware of where all of our big ships are, and he's got the torpedo planes coming in thick and fast. The Hugo comes in again. We're ready to fire. We look at what the Florida's doing. He's flat broadside, so we get some shots off towards him, given that we have the Scharnhorst in the middle who has got the attention of the Hugo. But the Florida turns out just enough for those shells to drop short and washes decks for him as the Hugo goes charging in towards the Scharnhorst. Now I'm thinking, you know, I don't need to shoot at that Hugo because the Scharn is probably going to have another set of torps ready on him. I'm going to focus on the Florida, who is firing HE at a broadside Scharnhorst. Interesting. We drop a double citadel on the Florida, and he's now reversing out. He's on fire. We put that last turret across there because we've got 10 seconds before we can go on the Hugo. We drop another citadel on the Florida, so that's 3 he's taken out of 4 turrets. But we go on the Hugo, And we get a Citadel and a Confederate, and once again we leave just enough on them for somebody else to pick up the kill. And this time it's the Tennessee, and that's the Tennessee that was all the way out on the flank on his own. Now the Cali has pushed all the way round. He obviously thought that he was going to try and squeeze round on our flank and put us into the crossfire. So we're turning and getting ready for him to come around this corner. We have 3 turrets ready. We get them off. We try to turn back into his shells. We trade probably double our hit points for the damage we did to him, so that was a little bit unfortunate. I've still got 1 turret ready, and I'm going to slowly turn and try and coax him into a shot. He is taking fire from elsewhere. I've got torpedoes running on me, so I've got to continue my turn to try and stay a little bit skinny. And that's going to give this California the opportunity to chunk me. And before I can lay on a kill shot, the Molotov swoops in and picks up that one. So that's what, 1, 2, at least 2 kills there that we just left a sliver on, and somebody picks up the kill. But it isn't all about the number of kills. It isn't all about damage. It's about playing for the win. And the only ship left in this game now is their aircraft carrier, and he has 2 battleships and a cruiser left. So I just did a check there. I wasn't quick enough to read it, but to see which aircraft carrier I am going up against, to kind of refresh my memory. I did actually check at the start. But just to recap, we're on 126,000 damage. We've hit a Confederate and a high caliber. So certainly had our work cut out for us, and we have certainly earned our wages in this game so far. But it's not over. We have a 140-point lead, but we all know that a carrier who is pretty much invincible when he's sat at the back of the map until you get within range, he can have a run-of-the-mill with his torpedo and dive bombers, while our very slow beasts do their best to try and close down the distance to him. The Molotov is our fastest ship. He's out the front, he's on the cap, and I think he's going to keep the attention of the carrier for the time being, which is going to give us the opportunity to push in towards their cap, because 2 caps cap 50% quicker than 1 ship alone. I believe Wargaming clarified this the other day, and they said 1 ship in cap pulls 1 cap point per second, but 2 ships in cap pulls 1.5 points per second. So you get 0.75 points each, if my maths is right. And obviously, if you hit a ship, you can reset its cap points, but you can't get a cap defend again if there's another red team ship. Another red team ship in the cap, because then it's contested. Or if the ship has 0 cap points, then you can't reset it. So it's a good idea sometimes, if there's more than 1 ship in cap, to just rotate your turrets through on each target and try and keep every single target reset to give your team a chance. If you go back a few videos, you'll see I did one, I think it was the Farragut or the Gator, called Defend, 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 where I do exactly that. I play just a solid cap defense to stop a red team from capping and to give our team the chance to turn their cap. Now we see the sort of all the way out there. The clock is ticking down. We've got time for 1 salvo, and we get it off as we turn into the cap. And I'm thinking, come on, RNG, give me, give me, give me. We clatter it with 3 hits, 2 overpens. We drop a Citadel, but we don't get a kill on it, unfortunately. So we finished the game with just under 148,000 damage, high cal Confederate 1 kill, 7 Citadel hits, thank you to all those beautiful battleships that went broadside for me. And as we tick through, we actually finish top of the board. So even though that Scharnhorst picked up 4 kills, we did so much in the game that we beat him on base XP. So I hope you've enjoyed that little outing in the Warspite, just to prove that sometimes I do play battleships. Don't forget to hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and if it's your first time past here, please do click that subscribe button and get updates for when I next upload a video or live stream.